Welcome back, my furry friend lovers. How we all doing today? Are you guys all ready for the next video on understanding how to read your dog's posture? I want to say thank you for all of you who are returning, and for any of you newer peoples, welcome to my channel. This is Skelly by nature. I am Skelly, and I hope you guys all enjoy this video today. I also want to say that if you haven't watched the first two videos, there is one video about being a leader. You may want to go and watch that video first, and then there's a first video of understanding your dog's posture. That's very important because it's the first two postures that you see from your dog, and it's important because if you don't watch that video, you're not going to quite understand this one. So if you haven't watched the first video of understanding dog posture, go ahead and watch that first, then you can watch this one, as well as the leadership video is important to watch as well. So with that being said, in the first video, I'm just going to kind of quickly recap. We remember that we had relaxed body posture, and then dogs go into an alert dog posture, and once they're in alert posture, we have all other postures that follow after that. So the next couple videos are going to be those other postures that will be displayed, or hopefully not displayed. But even ones that your dog doesn't display, you do want to pay attention to, because one of the important things, or one of the important things about understanding dog posture, is not only understanding your dog's posture, but it also helps you understand what the dog that you don't know's posture is saying. So with that being said, I've got to tame a crazy teddy. With that being said, these are two postures that, whether your dog displays these postures, they're probably the two most important postures to watch for, because if it's not your dog in these postures, it may be another dog in front of you. So understanding these two postures, if it's your dog in this posture, then you need to react as a leader and take care of your dog in the situation before something happens. Or if it's, say, a posture that you see in another person's dog in front of you, that you know how to then react and walk away from the situation, because you don't want your dog interacting with either one of these postures. These two postures can be the dangerous postures. So that being said, that's why I believe that learning these two postures is very important. So we're going to go on with these. So the next two postures that I'm going to introduce you to is offensive threat and defensive threat. And we can just understand these postures a little bit better, like I said, so that we know that we as leaders need to take control and help make our environment safe and secure, and have our dogs at proper posture and ease, so that we can move on and again, be safe. So the first one, like I said, is offensive threat posture. This is something that you see dogs who are dominating type dogs. A lot of times these are dogs that, you see somebody walking down the street and their dog goes into this posture. If you do see this posture again, you need to stop your dog in your walk, evaluate the situation around you, and then make the proper decision of either walking another way or going in a different direction or something like that. But you don't want your dog interacting with these postures at all. So with offensive threat, like I said, in the prior video, the things that you want to watch for first, as you're first learning this, is understanding how to read the tail, understanding how to read the ears, and then as well as the full body positioning and stuff like that. So the first thing is they stand tall and forward on their toes. You'll see in the picture the dog here is kind of got he's kind of standing straight up a little bit. He's on his toes a little bit. He's got a little bit of lean to his to his body, and so that's what you're going to be looking for, as well as a tail up and stiff. Sometimes dogs do carry their tail up in a dominant presence, but if that tail might be, it could be wagging, it might be just a dog that wants to play, but in a little bit of a offensive kind of mode. So when the tail is stiff, that we know that the dog is in a offensive threat situation. So the other thing that you're going to pay attention to is the hackles are up. Not all the time does a dog. Sometimes dogs' hackles will rise when they're excited. But as well, if you don't know the hackles are an area behind the shoulder blades that will rise. Some dogs you'll actually see the hackles or the rear end of their hair in the back by their butt as well will rise. Those are the two areas that you'll see the hair kind of stick up. So pay attention to that. The thing with offensive threat as well is the ears are set forward, usually in a very high, very strong, set forward type. And then when you start really getting into understanding or seeing that posture, the next step that you can go to is actually paying attention to the nose. Their nose will actually wrinkle, and when their nose wrinkles, that's, usually they're usually a lot of times snarling, or a growl might be coming from them as well. So you can pay attention to that. And the other thing too is their mouths are forward. The corner of their mouths are forward. And so again, pay attention to that as well. Okay, so that's offensive threat. The next posture that I'm gonna show you is actually a lot of people would think offensive threat is the more dangerous posture, but in matter of fact, it's actually defensive threat that will cause more dog bites or more dog fights than actually offensive threat. And part of it is just because the dog is reacting out of fear, whereas offensive threat is a domination typically. So if your dog, say, is submissive, sometimes that will ease the dog with offensive threat. But if a dog's in defensive threat, whether your dog approaches it in any other way by accident or whatever, the defensive threat, the dog is in fear, so it's reacting out of fear. So we need to keep that in mind as well. So with defensive threat, what happens is the tail will be tucked. You'll see our dogs will carry their tails straight down, but a lot of times I get a Teddy that's wrecking the set. You're wrecking the set, Teddy. So with the tail tucked, like I said, the tail will come down and kind of curl out a little bit, and that's more of a relaxed posture. But when you see that tail come straight down and it wraps underneath their legs and curls into the insides of their body or even tight to their stomach, that's defensive threat. That typically means, either defensive threat or it's showing that your dog might be in a stress mode. So always pay attention to that. If you see your dog or another dog in that situation, again, we need to react as leaders. So the other thing that you'll see as well with defensive threat that you see with offensive threat is the hackles will be up again. Again, those are, by the shoulder blades. The ears back and the pupils are dilated. Now, I know it's hard to see a dog's eyes sometimes, or whether they're dilated or not. So watching for their dog's eyes, I wouldn't concentrate on that at first. I'd concentrate again on the tail, on the body of the dog. In the ears as well, in the head. But you'll see the ears are going to be tucked back. A lot of times they're kind of almost glued to the back of their head. Again, that's a sign of stress or type of fear that a dog might be having. And again, as well, with defensive threat and offensive threat, their nose has is wrinkled. They kind of, their nose will be kind of clenched up. You'll see kind of like the fronts of their mouth kind of almost have kind of a smile, or they'll maybe growling or making kind of growl noises or moaning noises. So pay attention to that. And the difference between defensive threat and offensive threat is that in offensive threat, the dog has got a strong, high body, okay, because he's being dominant. Whereas defensive threat, the dog actually has a cowering body. You'll see how the front of his shoulder blades will drop. You might see the butt kind of drop down. You see the dog kind of lower itself down a little bit. You'll see a little bend in the knees as well. When you see this posture, again, that's the difference between defensive threat and offensive threat. And then again, the corner of their mouths will be kind of set back. Like I said, typically they'll be growling and showing or displaying a moan or a growl. Okay, so those are the two postures for today. Like I said, these are probably, again, these are the, out of all the other postures besides relaxed and alert, these are two important postures to understand and learn because of the importance and the dangers of both of these postures, whether it's your dog or the dog that's in front of you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little something today. I hope you guys all do me a favor and hit that like button down below. Share this on your news feed, or share this anywhere on your social media that you have, friends who are animal people. A lot of people don't learn this, and this is very nice because, like I said, it not only tells you what your dog is saying, but allows you to read other dogs. And when the more information and that you can read, gives you the better option or the better ability to be able to control your environment, keep your environment calm, and keep your dog at ease and not put your dog in a danger. So again, share this video with everyone. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. It would help me out gratefully. I'm looking to build my subscribers and be able to have better videos for you in the future, coming up for the next couple of videos. I think we're gonna, we're gonna move on to the last of the dog postures with the next video, and we're gonna also have more natural treats and natural dog foods. I've got a couple people asking me about different recipes for making natural dog food, so those will be coming up as well. So one of them will be, and again, he's destroying the set. So there will be a one coming up. A lot of people have asked me what I do to help my dog Bobo with his seizures, so I do have a recipe that I do use strictly for him. As well, for what herbs and spices that actually help in foods that I use to help with helping control his seizures without medicine. So that's going to be a video that will be coming up because I've got a few asking about that. So stay tuned. Keep your eye out for the next video, and I hope to see you all in the next video.